Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Hayley and I am a first-time mum to a little baby boy called Oliver who is currently 6 months old. Now today I'm going to talk about my trying to conceive journey, and what I would say is this can be quite a triggering subject for some, so if it is then I completely understand. Check out one of my other videos and then when you're ready come back and have a little chat with us. Now here at Mum's the Word I talk about everything taboo that some of us don't necessarily feel comfortable talking about, but I think it's really important to raise that awareness for all of us mums out there and try and help some of you that may be feeling similar too. So without further ado, let's get started. I don't know about you, but I was never that person that had always said that they wanted to be a mum. And I remember being at school and all of my friends saying how they couldn't wait to be mums one day and they couldn't wait to have a family. And I just remember thinking that I was, incredibly career focused, a very materialistic person. There were so many things that I wanted to achieve that becoming a mum had never really been at the top of my priority list. And I remember having a conversation with my mum about it, and she said to me, you're never going to have children. I really don't think it's going to be for you. And when we had that conversation, she said to me, if I said to you right now, you could never have children, how would you feel? And I remember feeling devastated. I remember feeling, gutted at the fact that if I could never have children, I would, be really, really devastated and upset. And it never crossed my mind that when trying to conceive, that would potentially be my path. I think as a woman, you always think that when you want to have a baby, you can have a baby. And the more I've spoken about this, the more I've realised that it's really not that simple for a lot of us. And here I was a few years later in that situation where I, was at the point where I thought I could never have children. And it really is one of the most difficult things you can ever go through. And that's why I'm sharing my journey with you today, because I'm hoping that by doing so, it might help in some way, and hopefully it will give you, the feeling that you're not alone going through this. And like a lot of us, we just don't talk about it. So when it came to my trying to conceive journey, it actually began in 2019. And in 2019, I actually fell pregnant for the first time. Me and Mike had just got engaged. We weren't trying. I'd been off the pill since the January of that year. And so it was around 8-ish months that I actually fell pregnant. And we unfortunately did lose our first baby at 8 weeks. And I remember thinking in that moment, this is for me. I want to have children. I have that maternal instinct. I'm ready. I want a baby so badly. And I think until you are in that situation, you never really know how it's going to affect you and how it's going to feel. But that was the beginning of our struggles, shall I say, for trying to conceive. Because little did I know it was going to take us nearly 4 years to actually not only maintain a pregnancy, but conceive. And it was probably the toughest 3 and a bit years of my life, purely because once you have in your head that you want a baby, it's all you can focus on. It's all that you think about. And every month that goes by, you are hoping and praying that you get the answer that you want. And for me, it was very frustrating because in 2019, when I did lose our first baby, I remember going to the doctors and I remember talking to people about it and, them saying to me, oh, well, at least you can fall pregnant. That's a good sign. And I remember thinking to myself, well, that's all well and good, but I've also lost a baby. And that in itself is not a good sign. So please stop telling me that I'm fortunate that I can fall pregnant, because yes, I am, but also very unfortunate in the fact that I have lost a baby. And we then decided that we were going to actively try, because COVID hit and we were going to get married in the August of 2021, but obviously we didn't know if that was even going to go ahead, and I so badly wanted a baby. So we started with the Natural Cycles app, and I was doing the thermometer, and I was tracking my ovulation, I was tracking my periods. I was very fortunate in the fact that my periods were regular, so I could track that element. And we then also started using ovulation sticks. Now, what I would say about all of those things is it becomes very, very encompassing, and it's very difficult to not allow it to take over your life and affect your relationships and affect your friendships and affect every part of your life, really. And I was ovulating regularly and I wasn't falling pregnant, or at least I thought I wasn't going to fall pregnant again. And so all throughout 2020, we tried, I didn't fall pregnant. And then into 2021, we did actually get married in the August. And again, we continuously tried. And in the December, it was actually December 31st of 2021, I found out on New Year's Eve that I was pregnant. And I was over the moon. I could not tell you how overjoyed and relieved I was, because I'd fallen pregnant again. And little did I know that was all going to come crumbling down again. So again, a few weeks later, we were going into the new year. We were excited that we were going to have a baby. We, were starting, or what we thought starting the new year, on a high. And then again, bang on 8 weeks, I lost my second baby. And again, it devastated me, more completely in a different way to the first time, because obviously we had actively been trying. We'd actively been, checking the app. We'd regularly been doing the ovulation sticks. We'd been doing everything. I was eating healthy-ish. I was doing everything I thought I should be doing. And again, we lost our second baby. And again, I knew straight away. I was at work when it happened, and I knew straight away what was going on. I knew straight away that I was miscarrying. And it was a moment that genuinely stopped time. It genuinely stopped time. And I just thought to myself, I don't think I can do this again. I don't think I can go through this pain of losing another baby, because it takes so much strength and it takes so much emotional and physical well-being in order for you to be able to get over something like that. And for me personally, I just didn't know if I was mentally going to be able to do that, but also I didn't know how it was going to affect our relationship, because it puts a lot of pressure on it. So it was a very difficult conversation that we needed to have. And after that point, actually, I remember me and Mike sitting down and me saying to him, what if I can't have children? What if I'm not able to give you a child? And obviously we just got married at this point. And to have that conversation with anyone is heartbreaking. And it's devastating at the same time, because you're mourning the loss of, this baby that you've already grown attached to, but also you're thinking to yourself, this might never happen for me. So what do I do? What do I do now? And I actually had, I think it was about a month off of work, because mentally it really did scar me. It really was a time that I genuinely didn't know how to deal with, how to feel, what to do. I just felt completely lost in that moment. And so here we were in the beginning of 2022, and me and Mike had decided that we were just going to completely stop trying. We were just going to just take the pressure off. We'd actually booked to go away to Orlando for a 2-week holiday, and we just said, you know what, let's just take the pressure off. Let's just stop trying. Let's just stop trying. Let's just leave it be for now. Let me recover, go and enjoy ourselves, go and have some fun and spend some quality time together and just see how it goes. And when I came back from work, I actually spoke to one of my good friends and told her what had happened, because obviously she'd asked why I'd been off work. And she actually recommended that I go to a kinesiologist. And if you haven't heard of a kinesiologist before, I would definitely look into it. Now, I'm not saying that this is why I conceived, but I think it had such a huge contributing factor as to why I did conceive. And there's a number of reasons which I'll come on to in a moment. And I didn't really know anything about kinesiology. I didn't really know what it entailed, but I thought at this point, I've got nothing to lose. And when I went for my first appointment, I spoke to the kinesiologist and she said, what is it that you want from our sessions? And I said, I really want to have a baby. And so she looked over me, she kind of, did a few checks on me, and she said to me, all right, there's a couple of things here. One, your body is constantly in flight mode. It's constantly stressed. It's constantly under pressure. It's constantly on edge. And I was thinking to myself, well, yes, that is completely what it is. And I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I suffer with anxiety, and that had gone through the roof. So my body was in that state of sheer kind of panic, I suppose, and just not in a good way to even consider conceiving a baby. And then she said to me about my diet. Guys, I'm a chocolate lover, I'm a sweet lover, I'm a cake lover, I'm a biscuit lover. I love sugar. I love sugar. Sugar is my friend. Sugar is my go-to. And she was like, absolutely not. Your body is inflamed. You're having far too much sugar. And sugar was always my comfort food. And she was like, no, we need to start looking at your diet and you need to start eating healthier. But also, she said, because you've obviously not been able to continue the pregnancy, your body in some way is rejecting something. So we need to get your vitamins up, we need to get your minerals up, we need to get your energy up. We need to get you into a place where your body is able to maintain this pregnancy and is fit and well enough to maintain this pregnancy. And with that, I felt a little bit of hope. I'm not going to lie. I felt a little bit of hope. So I left my consultation with her. She'd recommended a lot of vitamins, a lot of minerals, a few bits of medication, and that was specific to me. And with that, she said, we need to give this 3 months before we start trying, for 3 to 6 months really, she said, but 3 months minimum before we start trying again to get your body into that repair mode so that you are better equipped to maintain a pregnancy. And that was in the March. And then in the April, we went to Orlando. And that trip changed my life. So here we were in Orlando having the time of our life, having so much fun. If you've been to Orlando, you'll know you are just a big kid. You don't have a care in the world. You're stress-free. You're releasing kind of all of these anxious or pent-up feelings when you're going on these roller coasters and you're screaming your head off to the top of your lungs, and you just have this massive release. And I genuinely, still to this day, loved that holiday because we just had so much fun. And I came back, and little did I know, I was pregnant. And it was the most surreal experience of my life, because here we were, I was going to a kinesiologist, I was trying to get myself back on track. I had decided that I wasn't going to try actively anymore. I just wanted to spend time with my new husband and, you know, enjoy myself, have fun, let loose. And then, wham, here we were, pregnant. And I knew straight away that I was pregnant. I knew straight away. And it genuinely did feel so different to the other 2 times that I had fallen pregnant. And I maintained the pregnancy. And I do think it's because of these reasons. These reasons being that I was taking the right supplements for my body. My body was in a state of relaxed, no longer stressed, no longer anxious state. It was able to help me to conceive a baby because I wasn't continuously trying so hard to put so much pressure on my body to have a baby. And I was in a completely different state of mind. I was not this stressed, anxious, overbearing, worrying person. I was just a relaxed, more positive person. And when I told my kinesiologist, she could not believe it. She could not believe it. But I do think that the main factors were the fact that my body was relaxed, that I was taking the correct supplements to nourish my body. I was eating foods to nourish my body. And I had taken the pressure off of my body to try and conceive this baby. And I know it's not easy for everyone. And I know, trust me, I 100% get it. I really, really do. It's the hardest thing when you want to have a baby, that as a woman, you feel it's the one thing you should be able to do, because that's your purpose. That's, you know, that's why you're here, to reproduce, to have a baby. But if there's any comfort that I can give you, it's that the many people that I've spoken to, it really isn't that easy. It really isn't that simple. It is a challenge, and you're not alone. Believe me when I say there are so many of us that have either struggled to conceive or continue to struggle to conceive, and it's really not as simple as everybody makes it out to be. So if you are on your trying to conceive journey currently, what I would say is do what I did, continue to bombard your doctor, get those tests if you want those tests done. Make sure that you're getting the support you need, whether that's talking groups, whether that's therapy, whether that's from partners, friends, whoever it might be. Make sure you're actually talking to somebody about it, and somebody preferably that understands what you're going through. Make sure that you're giving yourself that time to relax, switch off, letting your body unwind, recuperate. It's so, so important. And if, like me, you wanted to look into kinesiology, that's maybe another option for you as well. But what I would say is it's a really challenging and up road battle, or at least it can be, but you need to do what's best for you. So make sure that you are looking after yourself. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're in the best position possible to conceiving that baby. And I wish you all the luck in the world. Thank you for your continued support, and thank you again for watching this video. I hope that it has helped you in some way. Don't forget that you can meet me over on Instagram and on TikTok, and don't forget to subscribe and switch on that notification bell so that you can catch my next video. Until then, I shall see you later. Take care. Bye.